especially during with these trying times, challenging times. There are many ways. Some friends ask me whether this pandemic, whether this lockdown, whether all these tragedies or challenges are a punishment or a test from God. But there is, if the one who has this faith, a profound faith, God's love can never separate us from Him. Nothing can separate us. But those who walk not by sight, but by faith. So when everything seems dark, uncertain, faith gives us. Faith in God gives us a person who gives us a reason to hope. Once again, to hope steadfastly, to wait patiently, and also trust firmly in God. That's why the second reading, the author to the letter to the Hebrews gives us this classic definition of faith. Faith is a realization of what we hope for, an evidence of things not seen yet. We are given also here an example of our father Abraham, father of nations, a man of faith. We know we were in the catechism class when we were young. We were told the story of Abraham. I guess we all are familiar with this story of Abraham. We know that Abraham, the old man, the wife Sarah, the unmarried woman, also old, could not bear a child. Yet one day God promised them they will be the descendants of all nations. Their generation would be sands in the shore. It was impossible to think with human mind. But yet, these Abraham, Sarah, they believe something. They hope for and they believe and they experience this fulfillment of that promise of God. And second reading tells us that those who make that promise is trustworthy. God is trustworthy. And in the Gospel, Jesus referred to the light of faith. Gird your loins, light your lamps, and be like those servants who vigilantly await their master's return from awaiting, get ready to open the door when he knocks, when he comes and knocks. The faithful servants kept their lamps burning because they believed that their master will come at a time no one is expected, no one expects. So faith, the virtue of faith is essential, vital element in our active readiness for the Lord's second coming in our Christian life. If we go to the Seventh-day Catechism of Catholic Church, very basic teaching of our church, particularly number 162, you may check and read beautiful there, and it reminds us to live our Christian life, to live, to grow, to persevere in the faith until the end, until the end of our life, when God in the judgment, until the judgment, we must, in order to grow, we must nourish it with the Word of God. We must beg the Lord constantly to increase our faith, and it must be working through charity. Here is very important another virtues, because if you remember, we talk about the importance of faith, but faith alone is not enough. The letter of St. James beautifully tells us, chapter 2, faith without works is dead. society, in this world. Our faith should be seen by others in our words, in our actions, in the family, in our colleagues, in our workplaces. So our faith opens or enlightens our mind to God's gift, faith, and lead us to actions. If we want to follow, really we want to love God, we must know Him first. We can see Him. When can we see Him? In the last judgment, chapter 25 of St. Matthew Gospel, in this final judgment, the Lord reminds us that we can see Him in the faces of the hungry, thirsty, a stranger, naked, sick, homeless, those people, those who are underprivileged. Whatever you did to these people, please, you did it to me. Jesus reminding us, and St. Augustine, very famous, one of the church fathers, remind us that there is no love without hope, no hope without love, and neither hope nor love without faith. I know in our time, which is very much different from the time of Abraham, the time of St. Paul, the time of Jesus, it is a time in our century, the centuries that we are living, the technology are so advanced. Society is so immersed in materialism, egoism, competition out there, consumerism, and people are so serious about all these things. When people are so serious about, well, for example, what kind of brand new of iPhone or iPad or all those phones, anything, you name it and you have it. They were so serious about something new to come about out there in the market. And many people already perhaps saved some money to get them before anybody gets it. People are so serious about jobs, careers. Well, nothing is wrong with these, no? But sad to say that seldom, very seldom, do we see people who are really serious about the practice of our Catholic faith. One father told me, Sunday Mass is a good indicator or a good way to study how, and if you are parish priest, if you want to study how your parishioners are doing. But of course, this time it is not a good time to study because of the virus, and many people, safety is priority. Everyone, we all need to be saved. But this time, but even one of the American fathers who told me also that U.S., many other first world countries, a number of parishioners, for example, coming to Mass on Sunday is rapidly declining compared to up there. The areas have a crowd, baseball games, or in the parks or shopping malls on Sunday. Perhaps, well, this is just one of the examples, perhaps, that prove that faith has been downgraded to the bad seeds. We need to be ourselves. We need to be really serious about our faith, so that there someone is looking up to us in the family, our children, our grandchildren, people, they're always looking up to us as a good model, a good example. So all this, maybe this is quite alarming, especially when we listen to the words of the Lord in the last line of the Gospel today. Much will be required of a person entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more. We might be here different nationalities, different backgrounds, different experience, all these, but yet we are here one in common. We are given this gift. God, our Christian beautiful gift. God through our baptism, this seed, the little seed, the seed of faith is planted in our souls, in our minds, in our hearts. And God expects from us the fruits of these seeds. And that's why He gives us a time, constantly remind us through the Word of God to make this grow, the seed of faith, through our actions, every moment of our life, every stages of our life. That is how we can we make sure that we keep our lamps, keep burning brightly as we are waiting for His coming or preparing His coming. And this not for God, but our operation this is not for Him. He doesn't need God, doesn't need, but it is for our own sake, for our own salvation. So my dear brothers and sisters, today the words of Jesus remind us and lead us to re-examine ourselves a little more seriously. When the Son of Man comes, will we find faith on earth? Will we always get ready for His coming? This is a warning, a kindly reminder. But this is the choice here for you and for me to make a choice. When I was studying philosophy, ancient philosophy, I learned this Buddhism, this religion. Then Zen Buddha said, and I totally agree. He said that to know and not to do is not yet to know. To know and not to do is the same as not yet to know. Let us constantly be mindful of this reminder, our identity that we are children of God. The Lord reminds us, do not be afraid any longer, my little flock, my sons and daughters. We are children of God. We are men and women of faith. Faith